Okay, Nixagoax, Nidanigo Gaio, Niduchtoch Gaina. Hello, my name is Kyle. My Blackfoot name is Bear. That was given to me by my late grandfather, Dan Rees-Moxon Sr. And I come from the Blood Tribe, which is one of the four tribes of the member tribes of the Blackfoot Confederacy. The Prairie Chicken dance in the Blackfoot culture originates from the Siksika Nation. And the story goes, there's many stories, but the story that was told by one of the elders of the Blackfoot Confederacy from the Blood Tribe shared their story with me about a Blackfoot hunter that went out there hunting in the spring season, and it was in the early morning hours. And as he was walking about, he heard this low thumping sound. He got curious and he followed it. And as he was following it, he came upon these birds, these prairie chickens that were doing this strange ritual, which he didn't know about. But he was hungry and he needed to feed his family, so he grabbed his arrow, his bow and arrow, and he took aim at one of the male birds as they were dancing and shot and killed one of these male birds, and it startled the rest of them, so they all went into hiding into the tall grass. And then he brought the prairie chicken that he killed back to his family, and that's what his family had feasted upon for that evening. And then upon having his nightly smoke, and before he went to sleep, he said a prayer, then he had fallen asleep. And in the dreams of our people, sometimes they say that dreams bring us messages, and therefore in this story, the spirit of the prairie chicken came to this hunter who had taken his life. And when they say the spirit of animals, they come in the form of humans. They sat inside the teepee and he asked, "Why did you kill me while we're doing the sacred dance of the prairie chicken?" And this hunter, this Blackfoot hunter, had replied that he did not know that this was the sacred ritual, sacred dance of the prairie chicken. And the prairie chicken had understood, knowing that this man had, that the prairie chicken had sacrificed his life so that this hunter, his family, can have something to eat. And so the prairie chicken spirit had honored this, but he told this Blackfoot hunter that he was going to teach him the songs and the dance of the prairie chicken. And what he was to do was he was to go out there and teach all the men these songs and these dances to honor the prairie chicken. If he didn't do what he was told, this prairie chicken was going to come back and take his life. So it goes to show that the prairie chicken is actually quite powerful in the Blackfoot culture and the belief and the traditions of our people. So after that, the sacred society that we call the Gittoki Society, the Sacred Prairie Chicken Dance Society, was created amongst the different societies in Blackfoot culture and part of our Sundance way of life. It's still in existence here in the Siksika Nation, and the dance that they do is quite different than how we dance out there in the powwow circle, where the men would have two rattles and a shawl. There's four of them, and the songs, they don't actually sing, but they make the sounds of the prairie chicken while they hit the drum. And there's usually four older guys that sit around this drum, and the guys have the rattles, and they're moving around just like the prairie chicken. Now over time, as the powwows became outlawed by the Canadian government, and a lot of the ceremonies and the rituals through the Indian agent, those laws were enforced, the laws of the land, and our people went to residential school. Amongst the Blackfoot people, that way of life was not lost. Our people, somewhat, lack of a better word, went underground and did it in secret. So those traditions were still kept alive while our people were going through residential school. And then when the residential school, when the laws were when they kind of took those laws away, our people were able to get out there and to dance and express their way of life through song and dance. In the 1950s, the Piikani Nation, Rocket, Alberta, is the town site. They were recognized and noted to have the first intertribal powwow, intertribal meaning that not only Blackfoot, but other First Nations people can come in and join in with these dances. And so part of that dance was the prairie chicken dance came about, and the people had noticed that, and they saw that these men were dancing like the prairie chicken. and they came from the Siksika Nation. And after that, the outfit and everything just kind of became elaborate. If you go back to the late 1800s, the chicken dance bustle that we do wear was considered to be called the Crow belt. The original style of the prairie chicken dance, we do not wear the chicken dance bustle. When the Crow people came here in the late 1800s, they brought the gift of the Crow belt with them. Today it's known as the bustle that we wear. And in our ceremonies, they presented these 4 bustles, these 4 crow belts to the Gitogi society by doing the dance and through sign language, because the language barrier was theirs. But our people understood the gifts that these were given to the crows. So then after that, when the prairie chicken dance came about, the individuals, the guys started wearing these crow belts, and it just kind of became part of our culture. So it was a gift from the Crow people. But the origins of the chicken dance started from the Siksika Nation. And that is one of many stories about the prairie chicken dance. And there's many stories out there that our knowledge keepers, our elders, do tend to share with our youth and our people within the community who are interested in learning about the prairie chicken dance. And in the Blackfoot language, we say the Gitoki Abaska. The unique features, as I mentioned, is the chicken dance bustle. The traditional bustles are mostly eagle feathers, but our bustles are round bustles, quite smaller than what the traditional dancers would wear. And also, they're also known as the round bustle. Also, on the porcupine head roach, we also have the what we wear, the pheasant tail feathers, which kind of represents the antennas of the prairie chicken, the ears of the prairie chicken as we dance about, and also the tights that we also wear as a significant feature in our prairie chicken dance. The chicken dance evolved, well, of course, the Blackfoot way. There's 2 styles, old style and contemporary style. The original style of the Blackfoot is the original style, which is just dancing in one place, just like the prairie chicken. Today, a lot of First Nations other than the Blackfoot, you have the Cree, the Kootenai people, even the Dene people, just to name a few tribes out there, the Crow Indians. Some of them tend to have a liking to the prairie chicken dance, so they pick up that style. Some of them come here to the 4 tribes of the Blackfoot Confederacy to learn that style, but the Cree people also have a different interpretation, and when they dance, they move around quite a bit, which is more the contemporary style. But as in the Blackfoot way, the old style is dancing in one place, and it's all basically in the shoulder movement and what we call the Blackfoot toe tapper, which we kind of toe tap our feet to the drum beat of the song that is being sung for us. And all of it actually has to do with the shoulder movement and the elbows when you mimic the prairie chicken. And in the Blackfoot way of life, it was also the prairie chicken dance is also known as a Blackfoot fancy dance. But when we talk about old style with the prairie chicken dance, when you see the drum and you hear that drum beat, you may hear of a lower tone, kind of like hitting on a wood frame. And that's the old style where they hit where the singers hit the rim of the drum with their drumsticks. And that is considered old style. Then, you know, after the first, second start in the songs there, they would pick up that drum beat and they pick it up a lot faster. And that's where the footwork really comes in, when that drum beat becomes a lot faster and you add in the motion of the shoulder work. We also have another style, what we call the prairie chicken dance crow hop, which is just a beat similar to almost like a double beat, but that beat is different than what we call the straight style, where this one just more has a crow hop style to it. And then we also have the prairie chicken dance shake, where the shake song was hitting the drum together, and it sounds like guns firing. It's like what I like to compare it to. And what we do is we just mimic that dance. Like we just move our feet quite fast, look around, because the reality is like the prairie chicken dance is a show-off dance. So as men, as we're out there dancing, we're looking around. Like sometimes you kind of want to look around and say, hey, look at me, I'm out here dancing, I'm strutting my stuff, you got to check me out. And also, when you go back to the original prairie chickens, like when we got our dance, the reason why these birds would dance the way they are, because it's a courtship dance. It's you know, with recreation, procreation is considered sacred in First Nations belief. And of course, nowadays it tends to turn a different way. But when you come back to the life of our people, it's a sacred life. And with the animals and the environment, everything comes together, because in our Blackfoot way of life, we have a word that we call the land. It's called Nidotsin. Nidotsin takes care of us. And what that really means is not just the land, but it's also the environment, the animals. We learn from them. And the prairie chicken too, is we learn from the prairie chicken to the song and to the dance. And knowing that, you know, procreation is considered sacred in human life. And the prairie chicken kind of tends to remind us of that. Well, the thing I always find is kids are really smart, and in our culture way, they watch them dance, and kids can really pick up in the different dance steps. And once you get it started into powwow circle, depending on, you know, if you grew up in a traditional way, sometimes you go through initiation and then you're allowed to go in there. But anybody that has the heart and the desire to want to dance and to go out there and express yourself through the dance, we as individuals, as dancers, we encourage that, especially with our youth. And sometimes if kids can't afford to dance, sometimes I see people gift items towards kids that they start dancing. So when a youth starts to dance, it's the community that comes together and supports that, especially with the family support. So, you know, it really comes down to, you know, mom and dad supporting that child, making sure that he's there, making sure that he's being supportive. Because once you have that support from your family, man, you could go anywhere. And my kids are an example of that. Like my son Tristan danced in grass, and he wanted to dance chicken just like his old man, like his dad. And mom made an outfit together for him, and like he went the same way I did, just sitting there and just watching and observing, picking that up, going home, practicing it, put on a CD, and you just practice it, you get good at it. And that's how you know, I would say one would get started into the prairie chicken dance, into the powwow circle. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching the Prairie Chicken Dance Contest here in the Siksika Nation Powwow 2019. I hope you take this and, you know, I encourage it. If you want to dance Prairie Chicken Dance, I mean, check it out. It's a favorite. It's the most popular dance out there. And I encourage you guys, you know, if there's a powwow out there, put it on your bucket list, man, because, I mean, it's a great thing to see, and it's an awesome memory, creating those memories. So I encourage you guys to get out there, check it out, check out the Prairie Chicken Dance. You will not be disappointed. Thank you guys. Good night.